This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga, dudes and dudettes. This is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Mezco 112 Collective Armor Model 42 Invincible Iron Man. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased in your standard 112 box, done in the colors of the figure. We can also see the Mezco exclusive emblem on the top right. Turning the box around, we can see some great artwork of Iron Man. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is Iron Man out of the box. And man, this is one really cool action figure that Mezco has given us. This is very different from a lot of their other figures because I believe this is the first one that doesn't include any soft goods, but he does have die-cast metal components and an LED feature. So this guy does have a ton of stuff, and there is a lot to talk about, so I cannot wait to check him out with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Iron Man does come with a ton of accessories. Starting off, he comes with a chest blast effect piece, 2 repulsor blast effect pieces, 4 thruster effect pieces, 2 button cell batteries, 2 hip missile effect pieces, 2 wrist missile effect pieces, and 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. And lastly, he also comes with a circular base stand with the arc reactor logo printed at the top. He also comes with a clear articulated arm that articulates at 4 points with the clip. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at Iron Man. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the Los Angeles Comic Con exclusive Armor Model 42 Iron Man. Now, this is really a very unique piece when it comes to Mezco, because normally we're used to seeing soft goods on a Mezco figure, and that is one of the key selling points for this line. Now, this is the first figure, I believe, that has 0 soft goods, but in what they made up in soft goods, they made up with die-cast parts. So this guy is pretty hefty. You know, it's not until you get him in hand you realize how heavy he is. So I believe his whole midsection right here, where his abs are, his thighs and his lower legs are all actual die-cast metal, and then maybe even the biceps, I can't tell, but I think those are all plastic too. So he's a hefty piece, and he really feels like an Iron Man figure, and it's pretty cool. Now I will say this, this particular design is from the comic books, and to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the look from the comic books. When I first saw this colorway, I was not very impressed by it. You know, something similar to that, and I just really kind of didn't like it. So when this figure actually came out, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, I can't wait to see it, and you know, I'm gonna get it regardless because I love the Mezco line and whatnot. But getting it in hand with this particular sculpt looks amazing, and I freaking love this action figure. In early predictions, this might be my favorite figure of the year. I'll have to go back and look at some other stuff, but this guy is rad. He just looks really cool. Lots of great sculpting in here. I love the paint work. You can see lots of flat blacks mixed in with some more like polished black and whatnot, with those nice metallic golds and little red accents all throughout the figure. Just look very, very nice. This is such an awesome looking piece. Look at even like the rivets and things like that, and all the plating. Just looks really good, man. Oh, such a cool looking figure. And again, this is coming from a I'm not a super huge Iron Man fan, and I really wasn't a fan of this color scheme in the comics, but damn, this is freaking cool, man, and I absolutely love everything that they've done with this. They've just done such a great job. So he does have a lot going on since he is Iron Man, so we got a ton of accessories. First thing I want to show off is he does have a removable faceplate. You do want to be careful when messing with a faceplate, because I had such a hard time and whatnot, and I actually had some dry paint, so I'd pull from the sides, kind of just pinch like that, and the faceplate will come off, and you can kind of see his Tony Stark face underneath that. And I had some people complain that they didn't like the face sculpt, it looks stupid or whatever it may be, might look a little derpy. I personally don't have a problem. I think that looks great. It looks really, really nice. I mean, it looks like Tony Stark, so it works out perfectly in my opinion. But you can see like the under padding of his undersuit and whatnot. You can see a little bit of gold paint right there on the edges from when I guess the paint on this got stuck to that. That's why I had a difficult time doing that. Inside the face mask, we even do get a little sticker right in there, kind of showing the gears and whatnot and his electronics and things like that. I kind of wish that was sculpted, kind of like what NECA does with their Predator face masks and whatnot. It's all sculpted and painted. That's just a sticker, but it's not a big deal. It's not really going to show. It also does have an embedded magnet right there in the helmet, so he can just hold the faceplate on like so. So you can kind of make it seem like his face mask just rose up like that and out of the way to reveal his actual Tony Stark face. So I think that's pretty cool. Lots of great detail in that. So let me put that back on. So he does got a ton of accessories. We do got this base with his little reactor center like that, done in the same black and gold with the red accents. Looks really cool. Again, I love the display stands. They are the best, and this actually works really good for being such a hefty figure. This stand works great and holds him up perfectly. So we do get some interchangeable hands. There are just some standard pegs like that, more straight pegs, those more modern pegs that we're seeing. So we got close-fisted hands. We do got these more open palm hands with the fingers a little more relaxed. And then we got these straight out shooting hands for like the pulsar blasts and things like that. So those work out pretty good. So he does have a ton of effect pieces and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set him all up and pop all those pieces on and show you what you get with all of that. Alright, so now here he is with a good chunk of his accessories and effect pieces and whatnot. And that just looks insane with the amount of things that we get. So we got this cool little wrist rocket thing that he kind of just slides into a little slot right there. And we do get two of those, one for each side. We also got this really cool repulsor blast that works great. It just pops right into that hand, a little socket like that. And we get two of those, again, one for each hand. We all get this really cool reactor blast coming out of the chest. That just looks really cool. I love that a lot. We got these little hip missiles that come off the side. Those are just replaceable. You just pop those on and off. And we get thruster effects. Now with these thruster effects, we do get 4 of them. So we do have the slots to put 2 on each foot if you want to do that. Or if you could just take off like this one right here for the hand. And you take one off from the foot and then put it on the hand like so. So you can get more of those like flying poses and whatnot when you want to do something like that. So very cool. Just a lot of cool stuff when you really fix this guy up with all his gear and whatnot. And all that stuff just looks great and it really makes you have an amazing Iron Man figure. So one other thing that I do want to show off is that this figure does have a light up feature. I put in those little button cell batteries and they do just come out in a little pack right here. It's a little back piece. This kind of just pops off and you take a little mini screwdriver, just like so, and then unscrew it in there and then pop off the little batteries. And we do have a little switch. You can turn that switch on and his arc reactor does light up. So if I turn off some lights here, you can kind of see how that lights up a little better. So maybe if I turn off some of these lights, some of these, and you kind of get an idea of how bright that thing really is. And I think that looks really cool. A nice bright LED inside the figure itself. So I think that worked out pretty good. So that looks really nice. So I also wanted to try that LED with this blast effect, and you can't really see it under harsh lighting because it's a little too dim for that. So again, I want to turn off some of my lights here and to see if we can get a good lighting. And you can kind of see how it still shoots off like that, so you can see that looks really, really good. You kind of see it does shine out pretty bright, more in the dark and whatnot, so that actually looks really, really cool. I mean, that's pretty awesome, just getting that blast effect lit up like that. With this, looks pretty awesome, and just another reason why I absolutely love this figure. Alright, so with the accessories out of the way, and all that stuff, I want to take a look at the articulation now, because for a lot of us, the articulation was a little, we were kind of worried how the articulation is going to be with this type of figure, considering it has metal parts and whatnot, and die-cast figures tend to not have good articulation. So let's see what we have here. So the head and the neck are on a ball joint just like so, so that rolls around very nice, does turn left and right, looks up about that far. I wish it could look up a little more, but that's still pretty good for getting flying poses. We can look all the way down like that with the head and the neck joint, and pivot side to side like so, so lots of good head motion. We get full 360 with the arms, up and out about that far, which is pretty good. It's pretty much straight out. Rotation in that bicep. We get a double jointed elbow, but it only bends just barely past 90, if 90. So, but that still works out pretty good considering the bulk of the actual figure. This wrist piece does rotate like so. We also get rotation at the wrist, as well as swivel at the wrist, and a hinge at the wrist, which is good for getting those like Iron Man poses when he's like shooting his missile and things like that, so that works out pretty good. We do seem to get a ball peg from the midsection into the upper torso, so that rolls around like so, does turn left and right a little bit, pivot side to side, crunches forward a little bit, back about so. Does leave a little bit of gapping in there, but it's not too bad, and it kind of hides because it's all black. We do get a very slight, if any, swivel at the waist, but it's really not a whole lot, to be honest with you. We do get hip joints. Now, you do have to pull down on these so that ball peg can come down a bit, so you can get past this little thigh guard, and it can kick up and forward that much. We can also kick backward that far. We can do the splits very nicely. Rotate in the upper thigh on that ball peg. We got double jointed knees that work very nice. You can rotate at the top of the boot like so. Ankle joints, as you put the toe up and down. Rotate, and a pretty good ankle rocker. So overall, I really think Mezco is getting better and better, in my personal opinion. I think they're just doing a lot of different stuff, and this is, in my opinion, a really revolutionary toy line for action figures, especially if you collect in this scale, around the 6 or 7 inch scale, because they're doing a lot of things that a lot of companies don't do, and I think they're doing a really good job with it. And again, a figure that's not in their normal style of like having soft goods and whatnot, this figure really is a home run, and I know he's sold out online and everywhere else, so if you can find him, I highly recommend him, because I think the price on him is going to go up and up and up, so he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Mezco comparison, here he is standing next to the Mezco 112 Collective Deadpool and modern Captain America figures. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to a couple Marvel Legends armor figures from my collection. And just for fun, here he is standing next to a little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the new Mezco 112 Collective Armor Model 42 Iron Man. Now overall, I am very impressed at how this figure turned out. I was a little apprehensive at getting a Mezco figure that didn't utilize soft goods, and to be honest, I was completely wrong in that worry. This figure is freaking amazing, and I absolutely love it. Mezco has killed it yet again with that awesome sculpt, amazing paint apps, great accessories, and really good articulation. This is one figure that you definitely have to have for your collection. So I give this figure a rating of 4.5 Bat Bombs out of 5. And if you're on Facebook, head over to my group, the Mezco 112 Collective Collectors, for all kinds of Mezco goodness. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.